Shared households are not uncommon. Americans are moving in with friends and extended family.
And these days, the baby boomers are now reaching an age where they are having to care for not only their children, but even older relatives.
And the effects of sandwich generation can have negative emotional and financial impacts.
Joining us now, Nikki Magyar from Right at Home in Orlando. Welcome back. Nice to see you again.
Thank you for having me again.
So tell us exactly, what is the sandwich generation?
Absolutely. So the sandwich generation is kind of a unique situation. So you've heard of millennials and baby boomers, but you might not have heard of the sandwich generation. It's a coined phrase basically for people who are roughly about 40 to 50 years old, and they are taking care of both their aging loved one and their own kids sometimes. And maybe not even have kids, but they have their own financial obligations and goals that they've put in place for themselves, but they find themselves sandwiched between different situations.
And do you also see it when some of these 40 to 50-year-olds also have children who maybe are staying home longer? Is that also kind of adding to that sandwich generation?
Yes, these days there's a lot more adult children that are actually living at home, or they might be needing help support through college years, or they have their own grandkids that this person is taking care of as well. So put together your spouse maybe that want to stay affectionate with and spend your time with, and then also your grandkids to take care of and your own goals. And here you're thinking you're retiring, but nope, you're actually taking care of your loved one.
Yeah.
And that can really create a negative impact and dynamic on the family as a whole.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things you can do to prepare for that or deal with that if you're part of that generation?
So the main thing is really to prioritize and to put things in place early on. So as you see your person aging, whether they have health issues or not, have those conversations early when things are not tough. Have those conversations about durable power of attorney, living wills, their wishes as they get older. And also put yourself in their shoes and think about what you can contribute and maybe your rest of your family can contribute. So the stress doesn't have to all lie on you. Hopefully you have some siblings, and even if you don't, there's other neighbors and other people, or maybe that loved one does have their own finances in place. And you just have to be really realistic with what you're able to contribute yourself, so it doesn't put strain on your family and yourself for your goals.
That's a tough conversation to start, but certainly better to do it, as you said, when things aren't difficult.
Yes. So sometimes you can put yourself in a situation when things do become difficult, and here you're in an emergency situation. With those situations, I would suggest, maybe bringing in a geriatric care manager or a professional service for those last-minute types of situations.
And so what does Right at Home provide that can help out this generation?
Sure. Right at Home, we're a home care business, so we take care of elderly people at home. We also take care of disabled adults at home or wherever they reside. So if they're already at the hospital and they need a sitter service, or if they're at home and they need someone to take care of grocery shopping, meal preparation, bathing, toileting, just taking care of all their essential daily needs so that they can have an active and independent life as much as possible.
Do you recommend, when you talk about financial planning, oftentimes, people have worked their whole lives to save up for retirement, and then, an illness strikes or an extended hospital stay strikes, and you end up bankrupt. Like, what do you recommend people do now to maybe prepare for the possibility of something like that?
Sure. So a lot of things like Medicaid and veterans benefits actually have a 3-year look back now. So it is really important to, talk to your financial advisor, talk to your banker, even whoever you feel most comfortable talking your finances about. Really set those parameters in place so that you're ready for an emergency. Some people say to have like a 6-month nest egg. That's not necessarily possible for everyone, but to have those emergency funds put aside is really important.
All right, Nikki, thank you. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.